Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Gem and the Holograms? So here we are again, episode 2. Can we talk about Gem and the Holograms? E2O sabotage, if you will. This is the podcast where we quite literally talk about the complete ridiculosity that is 80s cartoon, air quotes, classic, Gem and the Holograms. I'm Joe. I'm the captain of the boat. The disaster boat we're going on. We're setting sail for disaster. Kristen, how do you feel?
I think calling a boat disaster boat is kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe not the best karma.
Well, I don't know. Is that like the is that the rip-off version of the Titanic disaster boat?
That's the Transmorphers.
I was trying to think. The Asylum is who makes those movies. It is the Asylum version of the Titanic is disaster boat.
I did not realize that was just like one group of people.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's one group of people who makes those shitty rip-offs.
Upon reflection, I'm not surprised.
Well, hey, why not? You get to trick Grandma when they go to Walmart and they're like, I didn't know this movie was on DVD.
I can't wait, because, Transformers is another 80s cartoon. Whenever they make the Transmorphers Gem and the Holograms, I guess it'll be like, Gem
Opal.
and the Holographs?
Opal and her imaginary band.
Yeah, no, I think that's just called Dragon Tales.
Well, there we go. That's it. That's, it's disaster, basically, what we're boiling down to here. This is already a disaster, and so is this episode.
I'm so excited.
We are watching Gem and the Holograms via Shout Factory's Gem and the Holograms Truly Outrageous Collection DVD collection series. And the whole series is available on Netflix right now as we're talking, or at least it was when I wrote this, so it might be off now. And but if it isn't, feel free to watch along with us to truly experience all of the disasters that we'll be experiencing today. Now, the last episode was a bit of a disaster in itself, and I'm just going to kind of bring you up to speed here. We had the death of the main character, Jerica's father.
Mm-hmm.
We had orphan girls stealing from the till.
Yep.
We had the introduction of Olivia Newton-John as a purple ghost,
Mm-hmm.
which she was called upon through magic earrings, which is another thing. There's a record executive who got possessed by the devil. There were rival
This all
bands.
sounds reasonable to me so far.
Right, no, this is kind of all good stuff to throw
Par
into
for
the
the
first
course.
episode of a cartoon. We had rival bands on guitar motorcycles. There was the death of every main character in a house fire. And Kimber said the word outrageous, which is a pretty common theme, actually.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable. I don't know if you need me to add to this at all. Everyone died and now it's over, right?
Well, I mean, there was a bit of a cliffhanger, I guess, because it did say to be continued, which implies that everyone is not dead, unfortunately. And
that does make sense.
Yeah, because as we all know, Zipper, the man who makes people nervous for a living, knocked into Kimber, who was the only person holding a lantern, which...
No, he shoulder-checked her like a fucking football player.
Yes, he did. It was going through his head, if I knock over this woman with terrible hair, she'll drop her lantern and everything will catch on fire.
Yep, you know what? Fire makes me nervous, so this is a perfectly logical path that I think he's taking.
Zipper did his job. That's what it all comes down to. He's a professional.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, fire!
Well, anyway, that's where that leaves us, and really, we gotta wonder. The name of this episode is Disaster, and if the house fire was the disaster, I guess, it'll be pretty smooth sailing for the holograms, but we're gonna experience that together right now with episode 2 of Gem, Disaster.
Me and my friends are Gem girls. Gem, Gem is my name. Exciting adventure, fashion and fame. Once you're a Gem girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem girl. Gem, Gem is my name. Me and my friends are Gem girls. Gem, Gem is my name. Truly outrageous, that's a Gem girl. Glamour, fashion and fame. Exciting adventure, fashion and fame. Once you're a Gem girl, you're never the same. Come on and be a Gem girl. Gem, Gem is my name. Gem.
So at the beginning of the episode there, we did get a little bit of a recap, which actually probably did a better job at explaining things than I did. But it did have a little flaw in there, a small thing, where Jerica, our narrator, or Gem, says, nobody expects the mysterious Gem is actually Jerica Benton.
Do they use the word expects?
Oh, I have that written in quotes here, so I'm assuming that is basically Yeah, that was probably just it. Jerica thinks that nobody thinks that she's Jem, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She
No,
in particular.
Jerica is pretty full of herself and her ability to obfuscate reality, perhaps.
I mean, to be fair, she must have a pretty good disguise, because I'm pretty sure there's an episode where, like, Roxy or Pizzazz or somebody makes the suggestion, hey, it could be Jerica, and Eric Raymond's like, are you fucking crazy? That's stupid. No way.
What? And that's why the Misfits, they just never throw out ideas again.
Yeah, no, I mean, well,
Beat them down.
I'm not sure if it's
Stop getting
I'm not sure if it's throw out ideas as much as they, present their ideas. They just act upon them.
intelligent suggestions.
Right. So, as it turns out, none of the characters died. Everybody's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Although Ashley did have a pretty close brush with death, because she ran back into a burning building to grab the tip jar that all of the orphans were making.
I don't know, that makes it sound like she was, like, portrayed to be in any danger, whereas, like, she just kind of runs into the house to get the tip jar. We don't see her, and then, someone pulls her back out, and they, like, happen to be holding her, but as far as we know, she was fine, and
Yeah.
also got that cash.
She didn't catch on fire or anything.
Nope.
And Jerica just kind of, she's a bit of a, I mean, she basically says, oh, don't you know that your life's more important than money? Even though last episode she was conditioned to believe that, money was very important.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Life lessons.
Yeah, I mean, well, as we all know already, Jerica's she's not doing great for these orphans.
Consistency isn't very important to Jerica, just as a person.
No. So yeah, I guess she can just change up what's important to orphans on the fly. Which today it's her life. Yesterday it was money. Tomorrow it could be being a roadie for the holograms, like setting up the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, Ashley, it's very important that you set up the lights for us, because you're never going to do anything more important in your life.
Because
in your
orphan
life.
labor.
Well, hey, they're there, so why not? And they love
I
Gem
can
and the holograms.
guarantee that is not the first time I'm going to say the phrase orphan labor in this series by a long shot.
Well, I'm pretty sure we know that the orphans do things for Gem and the holograms, so it is orphan labor, and Jerica should probably be investigated, which also does happen at another point, I believe.
Thank God.
But it's the next morning. Jerica's, kind of laying against a tree, because I guess she slept
She
that
hung
way.
out there all night.
She slept against a tree.
She watched the whole house burn down going, oh.
Yeah, they didn't move anywhere. Everybody's just kind of on the lawn, and the Misfits pull up just to rub it in, I guess. They don't say to their faces or anything, but Pizzazz and Roxy and Storm are all back there, and Pizzazz is just, oh, did somebody's house burn down?
Ooh, I have 10 houses.
And I'm stupid and rich.
That's basically exactly how it goes.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's essentially, mocking voice and all. Pizzazz just came back to just basically just kick dirt on them, but not actually go up close to them and kick dirt on them. They're really
For
just
her
there.
own satisfaction.
Right, they're just there as sort of a plot device so they know what Gem and the holograms are going to be doing for this episode, to which Jerica has the amazing idea. I don't think it's another thing where she doesn't exactly say what her idea is, but she's like, oh, wait a minute, I think I got an idea for what we can do now that we don't have a house.
Everyone come with me, I'm not going to tell you what we're doing.
Which her idea just turns out to be she's, they're putting on a concert for the billionaire who offered them the mansion last episode if they won the Battle of the Bands that is coming up in 6 months. Which I guess it's still 6 months, right? I don't think too much time has passed.
Why not? Time doesn't mean anything.
So he offers this mansion during the initial Battle of the Bands. The house burns down that night, Starlight House. And now they want to get the mansion from him the day after, which would that would be a little suspect, I think.
Yeah, you saying there's like an insurance thing going on here, like some type of fraud? From the outside viewer, perhaps it would be like, I offer you this mansion, then your house burned down, you have all these orphans that you don't know what you're going to do with them? I don't trust you, Jerica.
I'm just saying, if I was a Hollywood producer, I would be a little, I would be a little suspicious of this girl group and all of their orphans coming over with the sob story of, oh, our mansion burned down, maybe we can live here now.
Well,
one day after I offered it to them.
Luckily for, how the cartoon works, it just so happens that pretty much every single rich and famous person in this series, barring Pizzazz and Eric Raymond, happen to be just excellent people.
Yeah, that's true. Because rich people are all excellent to one another.
It's just supreme moral fiber.
Except for Pizzazz and Eric Raymond. And I guess Pizzazz's dad, he's more indifferent
he does
than
nice
evil.
Things occasionally.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, the guy is like, sure, you guys sound great. I can't guarantee that the Misfits won't get the mansion if they happen to win the Battle of the Bands, so you might have to leave, but for now, take it.
Well, before we get there, obviously, since this is the cartoon where, we got to keep the boys in the room, there's a little car chase that goes on.
Oh,
they all
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip ahead the very exciting car chase.
The very exciting car chase where all of the holograms get together and they leave and the Misfits follow them. It's just basically a lot of shots back and forth of people going, oh, they're coming after us, and we got to get them. And then eventually it's just they turn into an alleyway where Jericho uses holograms to turn the car into a dumpster. And
appropriate.
Very appropriate, I believe.
Dumpster full of dumpster people.
Dumpster full of dumpster people. Which, I'm just not a very dumpster person, nor is Shayna.
No, that's true.
Jericho makes up for all of them.
Yeah. Jericho is just especially a dumpster person.
But obviously, because this is a cartoon and strings need to go together, the Misfits just follow Rio instead, who they find immediately.
Yep.
And then it's just, there we are. Here we are, all of a sudden, we're playing a song, It's Like a Dream, which is a song that we're going to hear about 1 million times throughout the series.
I don't like this one.
You don't like a Dream?
Not really. It's a very, my issue with hologram songs in general tends to be that they're just they're flat.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, here's a nice thing we're singing about. It's not really, it doesn't have anything to do with anything going on now in particular, like a Dream.
That's true. I mean, I don't know, I have the opposite feeling where I like the more kind of general songs as opposed to the songs that are clearly themed for an episode.
I understand that, yeah. I'm not going to argue with you or anything.
You could actually see this being a song. If you hear the Gem and the Hologram song about Shangri-La, you're going to be like, what are they talking about? Why isn't this like a dream?
If we want to believe that these are songs that these bands are putting onto albums and putting out, then yeah, I guess I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
I also, though, have an issue with this song because it starts let's just Rio in the music videos and have him macking on Gem.
Yeah, well, yeah, that creates a problem because obviously, Gem is not his girlfriend. I mean, Gem is his girlfriend, but he does not know that Gem is his girlfriend.
Yeah, Rio's also the lights guy.
But
Why the hell is he in the music video?
That's sort of also, are these music videos real or are these just things we're being shown?
Deep
I
questions.
Because, they just sort of happen. I mean,
we can't.
Actually, you know what? In the episode where they are in Paris and they're filming Twilight in Paris, the music video for it, Rio is there. He's actually being in the music video. Yeah. So, they actually show a film crew filming him, I'm pretty sure.
And despite the fact that, as far as I know, Gem and the Holograms do not have a record deal. Yeah.
Well, they got, I guess, considering Jericho's co-owner of Starlight Music, that's where their record is being released on.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time theorizing about whether or not the music videos are real, because then at some point we get into the entire series takes place inside of a snow globe, like Same Elsewhere.
Yeah, a lot of music video politics is not really what this series is about. Industry politics.
Sure.
But the song itself is fine in my eyes. It's got some pretty odd visuals because they're playing on a waterfall. There's the Taj Mahal and magic carpets.
Like a dream.
I guess, yeah, a unicorn that turns into
a lot of unrelated imagery, like a dream.
A unicorn that turns into a Pegasus is pretty dreamlike, I would think.
I would love that dream.
There's a gem-branded boat. There's a gem-branded hot air balloon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Rio is he's taken up a lot of the space in this music video too. It's like the rest of the holograms kind of get pushed to the side.
Well, it needs to have that double meaning of, Gem appearing to Rio and not being real. Like
a dream. Okay, well,
dream.
Is Gem technically not a real person anyway, I guess?
Like a hologram.
Like a hologram. That's what this song should have been.
Yeah.
I appear to you like a hologram.
Mm-hmm. Let's get physical.
No, that's Synergy's song. Duh.
I'm sorry, I messed up.
But they play that song, which is, good song. And the record company guy kind of has the same reaction, like, hey, not bad.
Oh yeah, so no, they're not filming a music video because they're playing a concert.
Well, that's kind of like the thing.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Don't you remember in the first episode, the Misfits did a song in Eric Raymond's office twice?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of
they were very clearly performing it with no instruments because at the end they were singing and dancing. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right, well that's fine, but yeah, it's the crowd's clapping for Gem and the Holograms when they finish, which is kind of they're really rigging the crowd in their favor because it's all orphans in Rio. So
yep, wow, this crowd of people who know and perceivably like us really love that song.
Right, and that's basically just they plead their case to the guy, and pretty much they get the mansion. But yeah, it's you're right. He's just kind of like, hey, well, I'm not gonna say no because the Misfits can win, and take the mansion away from you, but you still gotta win, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, fair enough. It's for the
Again,
plot.
supreme moral fiber.
Pizzazz and the Misfits arrive, I believe, at or around the end of the song, because Pizzazz comments on it, "Don't give up your daytime job," which
is fantastic phrasing from a well-educated mouth.
from a mouth indeed.
Uh-huh.
And she claims that a house burning down in their sob story is boring.
Well, yeah, I guess as far as plots in television go, Pizzazz might have a point.
Well, maybe she's just sad that nobody died. Like,
That's true.
She was expecting some excitement.
Things like
right.
death.
Yeah. She's watched soap opera. She knows the deal.
Yeah.
If a house is burning down, a main character is going to die because they're getting written off.
Yeah, Stormer tears up a little bit because she's a good person.
Right. I have specifically written here, Stormer is not an asshole, which I believe is our first indication that Stormer is actually a good person.
Yeah.
But then, I guess Roxy just finds the entire thing boring because there's a bulldozer here, and she just decides to get in the bulldozer and just start plowing away, pretty much.
Yep.
So
there's no indication of what was being bulldozed, like, by people who are capable of operating that kind of thing. Just a bulldozer, and Roxy's like, I'll take it.
She's just like, we're talking about houses burning down. That's boring. That's, I'm just going to go, nobody's dying yet, so let me just fill the quota here and get in this bulldozer so Jerrica can die.
Yep, near-death experience. Check, I'm on it.
Roxy loses control of the bulldozer for no reason other than she has no idea how to operate heavy machinery.
Yep.
I would assume, anyway, because obviously, I mean, she could turn it on and she could start moving it, but I guess she can't control it. And yeah, she just basically, she loses control, and there it goes, right into Jerrica's path, who is, I believe, trying to help the record company man out of the pool because Pizzazz pushed him into the pool, I think.
Yeah, she does kind of, like, trip very, dramatically, like, while it is still a good, like, 30 yards away, and she probably, like, could even, if she doesn't have time to get up, she probably could have done, like, a barrel roll out of there and just kind of, like, done a nice, like, log roll. Yeah,
she kind of flies backwards and just sort of lands in the path of the bulldozer and stares at it while we wait and go to commercial because we need to have that suspenseful, Jerrica's probably going to die.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another... Obviously, the segment's ending. We need to make it exciting. Jerrica's going to die. There we go. What could be more exciting than that?
This is a common theme.
But as we return from commercial, Rio is there, and he gets her out of the way. And then Aja displays the most athleticism by anyone so far in the series by running up to a moving bulldozer, jumping in, and turning it off very safely.
Yep, she's good with machines, apparently.
Well, I mean, they try to drive the tomboy point home with Aja, but we don't really see that very much.
Yeah, I think they give up partway through.
I don't know if they give up partway through as much as it's just sort of, I wouldn't even say always there, but it's just kind of like something that they go back to occasionally, and then in flashbacks they're like, oh yeah, Aja's a tomboy. Don't worry about it, she is, don't worry.
Sure!
So basically we cut back to the Misfits with Eric at Starlight Music, or they're on the phone. I don't remember, honestly. And Pizzazz says Eric's full name because he has not appeared in the episode yet, and knowing who Eric Raymond is very crucial to the series and basically the role that he plays.
Yep, thanks, Pizzazz. And then, for some reason, we cannot remember the context for this, but we just have a quote that says, "the whole ball of wax."
Someone says something about the whole ball of wax. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to just, we watched this episode 2 weeks ago and didn't really go back, so excuse us if we get anything wrong.
So, yeah, there's some out-of-context quotes where we're just like, this is really funny. I'm sure even without the context, it's still funny to us.
I mean, it's different when you watch the episode a half hour before you record as compared to 2 weeks before you record.
Yep.
In any case, Pizzazz kicks a bucket that's just laying on the floor, and Roxy kind of half-heartedly pushes over a plant because, I mean, they're angry that they got the mansion, that the holograms got the mansion. And, I mean, why wouldn't they be? Because, I don't know, because they think they deserve it, I guess.
They're always mad about something. The half-hearted pushing over of the plant is probably my favorite thing. Anytime, like, something very aggressive turns out to just kind of look like, It's my favorite kind of, like, poor animation.
Right, I was going to say, that seems like it's more a problem with the animation than anything, but...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If we were doing an honest depiction of the rage that Roxy felt inside of her, then that plant would be like halfway through the crust of the earth.
Probably, yeah. No, definitely the rage in her heart did not reflect in the animation. But, yep, so Eric Raymond has to make another call to Zipper. And when he answers the phone, or when Eric Raymond addresses him as Zipper, Zipper says, "That's my name." Is that his name? Is Zipper his name?
I'm gonna go with yes.
To be fair, he does have a leather jacket that says Zipper on the back.
Well, yeah, I like this is a series where it's full of people who have, nicknames that they prefer to use. I like to think that Zipper is like, I'm Zipper Johnson.
Is that just a sales tactic, you think? Probably, right? Like just a way of branding, like everybody's got a normal name and a nickname?
Well, not everybody.
Most people do. I can't think, I mean, only like adults don't have nicknames, really.
Well, in at this point in the show, less than half of the cast has nicknames because only Jem and the Misfits have nicknames.
No, that's true. None of the holograms have nicknames unless you count Kimber, I guess, because wouldn't her full name be Kimberly? Probably.
I never thought of that. I hope so, because Kimber is a really stupid name. No offense to anyone out there named Kimber.
I always assumed her name was just Kimberly. I don't know. We could check the wiki for that or something.
Jerica and Kimberly.
Yeah, because Jerica's not really short for anything. Where does the name Jerica come from? Is that a real name?
I'm sorry, you know what I just realized?
What?
Jerica is the older sister, and Kimber is the younger sister, and your name starts with a J, and my name starts with K.
Right. But I don't want to be
weird.
Jerica.
Too bad, you are.
But I don't want to be Jerica. I don't
want to be Kimber, so we're even.
I don't want to be in love with Rio.
Too bad.
But anyway, it's just names are what's in a name, as they say, I guess.
I guess.
But Zipper needs to be used again. Eric needs to. I don't know. Eric has a plan. Zipper's going to make people nervous, as is his normal thing.
Like zippers.
Do zippers make people nervous normally?
I don't know.
When sewing a zipper, you're the fashion expert.
I just don't put zippers on things.
Oh, there we go. Well, there you go. Sewing a zipper would make you nervous then.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They're annoying. Zippers is being annoyed the same thing as being nervous. Zipper, the character, kind of annoys me.
I've got the spitting image of a zipper then, I guess.
Yep, just we're all answering so many questions.
So, all right, so they get the mansion because obviously the Misfits put on such a shit show that basically the billionaire guy is just like, whatever, take it. I don't care. And then all the orphans jump in the pool with their clothes on because they don't know any better because they're orphans.
Yep, they don't have parents, so how would they?
And we learned that... No, I'm just going to leave that one there. I'm not even going to touch that.
Yeah, I can't, they all can't be winners.
They're orphans.
No, I wasn't talking about the orphans. Wow. Fine. Let's continue.
All right. Well, we learned that basically Ashley thinks that she's free of getting the $30 that she owes the tip jar that she took out because she saved the money, which I think that's pretty.
That sounds kind of fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a sense she made all of that money instead of starting at zero again.
Yeah, you know what? I understand Ashley's thought process on this, or the fact that all the other Starlight girls are like, no, you still need $30.
She's kind of being a bitch about it, as Ashley is one to do, so maybe that might be why. Is like, we liked you, Ashley, but then you were a bitch, so no, never mind.
So now you owe us money. It's not the honor jar, it's the bitch jar, it's the swear jar, but Ashley owes them $30 every time she's a big bitch.
God, she would owe them a lot of money by the end of the series.
Well, no, she gets better. She's never great. She's never like our little blind angel Bonnie. But
who's not blind yet.
Who's not blind yet. But yeah, I was thinking as we were like going through these notes here, Ashley is super intolerable in the first couple of episodes, but she gets significantly better.
She does. You're right. So, hopefully we'll tone down calling a 10, 12-year-old girl a bitch so much. Maybe, possibly. But luckily for Ashley, she's going outside, and she's like, oh, am I ever going to get $30? And there are the Misfits at the gate, and they want in. And Ashley, being the shrewd businesswoman she is, says, hey, you need in? And I need $30.
And Pizzazz goes, let's strike a bargain here.
Well, Pizzazz lowballs her first.
Yeah! And Pizzazz has $30. And you know what? And she doesn't even end up paying for it. They make Stormer pay for it.
Well, they do the classic, all right, all right, fine, we'll give you the $30. Roxy, get your wallet. Oh, Stormer, get your wallet.
And Stormer pays up because she's a good person. Giving money to the needy.
Yeah, just chalk it up to that. You know, it's a business expense or a tax, whatever, tax write-off. I don't know how.
Stormer's responsible to write it off.
Yeah, that's I don't know how. I don't know how that
bribes work.
Yeah, no,
in taxes.
No.
We are business people. We don't need to know.
No, I have a degree in communications, which is good for nothing. So Zipper is Zipper just breaks in pretty much.
Where it says, yeah, Zipper up to no good. And what does that mean?
Zipper's up to no good. He broke in and he puts a bomb under the couch.
Oh yeah, that's where that happens.
I mean, I don't know if it happens immediately then because we're starting our second song already, which is Click Clash, which is a very rare dual song between the Misfits and the Holograms, because the Holograms are getting ready.
I like the multi-group songs.
I do too. This one's just not good though.
No, I don't understand. Like the click, I kind of get because it's in the middle of a photo shoot. The clash part makes no sense.
Well, I mean, you see that the visuals throughout the music video are basically the Misfits go in and they start messing with a clothes rack. And that's pretty much it. But then, after the music video ends, they haven't really even come in yet.
Is this where they start getting really big about the stars being the holograms thing and the lightning being the Misfits thing?
Well, they are like riding the lightning at some point. The Misfits are.
I think the holograms, they're on stars.
Yeah, the holograms are on stars. I think they did a bit of the stars thing in the first episode too with the holograms, or maybe I'm just thinking of the opening.
There's plenty of that in the opening theme song too. So I never really looked too close at it before. I want to see like throughout as we keep going whether or not they keep up the imagery with the lightning with the Misfits, because
they all got the lightning,
or multiple of them at least have the lightning on with their makeup.
Sort of. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it lightning, because that just kind of has
they're like squiggle shapes.
Pizzazz just kind of I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Because his makeup is sort of like a mix between Pizzazz's and Stormer's, right?
That's pretty much. She has like the lines, like the thick lines of Stormer and the kind of squigglies that Pizzazz has.
I think those are kind of like lightning.
I don't know, whatever. But anyway, but the setup, I mean, basically for the hologram side of this is that they're doing a photo shoot and they build an entire like photo shoot set inside of this mansion, or maybe it was already there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but it's basically the Click portion of the song is about getting your picture taken, pretty much, and how you're an international sensation. And the Clash part is, as most Misfits songs tend to be, about fucking shit up.
Yep, I was going to say verbatim, fucking shit up, so I'm glad we're on the same page.
Which, I mean, but they only do so in this song by piloting a clothes rack and doing nothing else.
You've got to appreciate that.
Oh, the holograms aren't going to have their uniforms where they thought they would be. Ooh.
Disorganization. Chaos!
But yeah, they switch between the holograms and the Misfits sections of the song, and the holograms part is fine. The Clash one, much like its title, clashes incredibly with the holograms part.
Bad. It sounds really bad.
They do a little thing at the end where, they go click, clash, but the click is just like click, like snap of the fingers, click, and the clash is Pizzazz going clash. So it doesn't.
Music.
So it doesn't mix very well, is part of the problem.
Which I am, perhaps that's the point, but I don't want to give that bad song too much credit.
Right, and that's basically, it's just, the Misfits, I guess, weren't even piloting the clothes rack because they're barely even stepped inside by the time that the holograms are on the front lawn and being like, hey, what are the Misfits doing here? Which happens immediately after the end of the song, I believe.
Yep, well, they're not the most subtle group, so they probably saw them through a window and they were like, oh, shit.
While this photo shoot was going on.
Yeah, well, they were outside going, clash!
Or no, they were taking pictures like on the front lawn or something at that point, even though they were in a studio initially. I don't remember. In any case, Zipper has a fucking bomb, is one of my notes. To which he puts it under a couch cushion for some reason.
Good bomb placement.
And Eric shows up because he wants to be at the scene of the crime for some reason. And
that's my favorite thing, is him running in being like, there's a bomb!
He notices the Misfits are there and he's like, what are they doing here? So he runs up to the gate and he says, there's a bomb! There's a bomb! And that's the end of segment 2, is the fucking Starlight Mansion exploding.
Just one room, though.
That's kind of when we come back from break. Nobody was inside the house.
Our third rec room exploded.
It only managed to blow up one room.
Yeah. One couch.
And a wall. Maybe the couch cushion absorbed most of the explosion.
Again, great bomb placement.
Zipper's just, I mean, maybe Zipper's just not trying to kill anybody. He's just trying to make people nervous. So,
you know what? An exploded couch, that would make me nervous.
I would be like, well, now any of my couches can explode. What am I going to do?
I also kind of like to think, based on this scene, that, Eric wasn't, like, he never specifically said, hey, put a bomb in Starlight Mansion. So despite the fact that the Misfits were also there, I kind of think this is, like, our first little thing of him being like, I want you to fuck things up, but don't kill the holograms.
He knew there was a bomb there, though. Nobody told him.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. Maybe, I did, like, just the cartoon. I feel like it doesn't make it clear that he, like, knows. He just kind of gets there and says, oh, by the way, there's a bomb. Get out.
Maybe he told Zipper to specifically put it in a room where nobody was.
Maybe.
But then again, how would you know, depending on the timer of the bomb? Like, how would he have known that at that point the holograms were outside of the house?
If he wanted to lay it on real thick and act like he was trying to be a big hero or something, because why else would he place himself there? And I feel like the cartoon would have made it much more clear, where it's like, oh, look out, there's a bomb!
Are you sure Eric Raymond's
how'd that get there?
Are you sure Eric Raymond's not just a dumbass?
You know what?
That it's a cartoon, and for some reason they needed a way to end it on a very, like, cliffhangery note other than, like, the timer on the bomb reaching 0, so they needed Eric Raymond screaming, there's a bomb!
You gotta hand it to you, that is entirely possible.
I mean, that's the thing. I remember you were grilling me last episode for giving this cartoon too much credit. I think that's what I'm doing to you now.
Yeah, I guess so. You know what? Okay. I rest my case for now, but I'm gonna come back for you.
All right, fair enough. I have written here that Eric has that Mick Jagger face, which I assume means his lips were drawn gigantic. And
creepy.
And creepy. And
Too many
I think
lines.
the Misfits just kind of leave, right? Or no, they don't. I'm sorry. Because they're just still... Everybody's just kind of hanging around after the bomb blows off. And the Countess de Voisin shows up, who is a woman who is just a very... just a lot of wealth, I guess.
Yeah.
Is she a fashion mogul, I think?
I think, yeah, it's something like that.
And she's just kind of here to come visit the billionaire guy. And she's got a weird French-ish accent.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, because... It's
nothing else to say about that. It's just weird.
We need a rich woman. I guess she's French. And she invites Gem and the Holograms to her boat party that she's going to be having, because they wrote this episode and they were like, well, all right, what the fuck are we going to do now?
Boat!
Put them on a boat!
Yeah, that's how the writing process goes.
I mean, to be fair, we could say that, the episodes back then, before they were put together, were split up into sections, so they weren't thinking 3 sections is 1 episode, so we'll just, put it together, and we won't mind the fact that the boat section at the end is kind of out of place compared to the rest of it. But, yeah, they get invited, and the Misfits are like, hey, are we invited?
You should invite us too, yeah. We are also a big band. Our name is the Misfits.
And here's our card, and we're totally not gonna fuck up stuff at all.
And little does the Countess know that slighting them, she has invited just the darkest spirits from hell
She's
onto
basically
her yacht party.
Put a giant target onto her face. And onto everybody on the boat's faces, because she's just kind of like, no, that's okay.
I prefer not.
It must have been pretty bad, because I wrote in the notes here that the Misfits got fucking dunked, which I assume means that the Countess de Voisin, like...
She probably called them garbage or something.
Probably. I mean, that's, as we know, calling Pizzazz garbage is basically a means to make an enemy out of her for life.
I feel like she says something about them not being very nice young ladies. Which would also piss Pizzazz off.
Which, even though that doesn't fit with their image at all, Pizzazz is just kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not a nice young lady.
I'm the nicest young lady. But then my favorite thing happens where the Misfits are like, well, some stuff popped off, and now we're going to stay here and annoy you guys and laugh at you because a bomb went off in the mansion. And they get the great idea to make the Misfits go away by saying, hey, do you want to help us clean up, you guys? And the Misfits go, hell no!
And they just leave.
Yeah.
So we found the Misfits' weakness 2 episodes in. Why don't they do that more often? Why isn't it just like they let the Misfits fuck up stuff just a little bit, and then it's just like, oh man, hey, well, you mind helping us clean up?
Yeah, it's amazing that they don't employ this strategy anymore, because it really just worked like a charm. They immediately were just like, okay, bye.
Maybe the same thing doesn't work twice, maybe?
Maybe. They learn.
They adapt.
Yeah.
They're Mr. Freeze in Batman Arkham City. You can only use the trick on them once.
Uh-huh.
And then everyone shares a girl hug. Good for them.
Yep.
Because I guess it's... I mean, I guess everybody's probably scared because a bomb went off.
And the Misfits were on the prowl, but they get to go on a yacht, so life isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yacht, it all bounces out.
Right, and so we cut to the Countess de Voisin's yacht, which is fucking gigantic and looks like a cruise ship, to be quite honest. So they're on the boat now. They brought Rio, because, I guess.
Light guy.
Bring the light guy. Bring him on. Here's my boss's boyfriend, Rio, who came with us. And Lindsay Pierce is there, the introduction of Lindsay Pierce.
She's wearing the stupidest looking dress. Oh my god. Like, there's some bad dresses in, like, this whole extended scene on the boat because they're party dresses, but Lindsay's is really, really bad.
Do you remember how to describe it at all? Because I don't remember what it looks like, to
I
be
just
honest.
remember it being, like, weirdly knee-length and super frilly. And I think it's yellow or something.
It is. Well, yellow and, like, bright orange is, I believe, the color that you are supposed to associate with Lindsay.
I can't remember. Is Lindsay wearing, like, her weird headband?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
With the dress. She's going to spin classes after the yacht.
And I guess that when they were making Lindsay's nickname, they were just like, all right, we got a television personality named Lindsay Pierce. What's her name going to be? Lin-Z, Lindsay.
Yep. Checks out.
And basically, Lindsay is only there to set up another character, Anthony Julian, who is a director of film and music videos, to show up, who's just, general African-American dude, just on this boat house party as well with Lindsay, because they're friends. And because Jem's terrible, she's just like, hey, Shayna, you need a boyfriend. Go talk to him. Here, why don't you meet my friend Shayna?
Jem's first instinct for some reason is to be like, yes, I will play matchmaker.
Why don't you go talk to...
I guess it turns out well, so we can't...
No, not really. No, I mean, they're sort of a thing, I guess. I mean, it's not really... I don't think you see them go on dates or anything, but you know that they're at least slightly romantically involved for the rest of the series whenever they're
you see them
in the same episode.
Like, at least once a season, I guess.
Well, I mean, Anthony Julian, if they're not filming music videos, he doesn't really serve a purpose in the series. So
yeah,
I mean, this is where
to just kind of be someone for Shayna to talk to when Shayna is having her 1 or 2 character episodes.
Right. This is an episode where we introduce a lot of tertiary characters that sort of appear very occasionally, but still aren't as important as characters like Video and Dance.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know when they show up. I don't even know if it's within the first 5 episodes.
I have no idea either.
They might show up in the movie episodes, both of them, which is after the initial 5 here. But yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know if they were trying to, like, they were supposed to play more important roles, but Lindsay, I don't think, she never really directly addresses the holograms too much after this. It's only just, like, if they're on her show.
Yeah.
And like I said, Anthony Julian directs a music video for them, and then that's it.
And kind of hangs around, and they seem to like him.
And the Countess de Voisin is just, if we need rich people, here she is.
Fashion!
Or yeah, she shows up in Shayna's episodes occasionally whenever they need to do fashion things.
Yeah, so that there's a thread. Is that maybe?
Yeah, they're around when they need to be around, which I guess is why would Lindsay be around if she's not shilling her TV show or hanging out with rich people?
Speaking of fashion, though, the Misfits.
Yeah,
they invite themselves onto this yacht.
Aren't they all wearing the Jackie O hats, like blue Jackie O hats, or is that just pizzazz?
They all have weird headpieces, definitely. The Misfits have this weird thing with, like, polka dots.
Yeah.
And frills, which, like, do not suit them at all.
Well, I mean...
But okay.
It's sort of... What sort of vibe are the Misfits supposed to be giving off? Like, they're supposed to be like a punk band, right?
I mean, like, in the form that you are assuming the Misfits are punk.
Well, you gotta think. I mean, they're called the Misfits, and in their initial clothing is pretty punk-ish, I would think. Their songs aren't terribly punky, but I mean, you would think that that's, like, they're sort of portrayed as degenerates, kinda,
Yeah, dumpster people.
Oh my god, you called Stormer a dumpster person.
Well, a tertiary dumpster person.
The person that cleans the dumpster.
Yeah, she maintains the dumpster. She's the garbage man.
The garbage person.
The garbage person sounds even worse.
Stormer is a garbage person, let's be honest.
Oh no.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's sort of the thing. But they show up wearing this weird, like you said, like polka dotty frilly stuff that doesn't really. I mean, it's not like image is a big deal. Like, like nobody cares. Like, nobody takes the Misfits aside at any point in the series. Like, you guys really sold out.
Yeah, the thing that the show in the time period is we have to look at it and assume that, the fashion was supposed to be a big part of it, with them being based on dolls and everything. So, like, I think are meant to assume that these outfits all looked really good.
They might have in the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? trends.
You know what might be part of the thing is if they didn't hire anybody who was really well versed in fashion, so they just kind of looked at popular fashion and went, yeah, I could make something like that.
I guess for some of the outfits in the cartoon, I would say that, but let me tell you, there are definitely professional people designing the clothing for dolls.
Well, that's you would know more than I, so
Yeah.
you're probably right. But I mean, so the Misfits show up on the boat, or they're showing up towards the boat, and we cut back to Shayna and Anthony Julian for a moment, and they knew each other for a minute, and he's already like
macking on her.
he's already like touching her chin and calling her beautiful. Good on you for working fast, dude. But like, hey,
Yeah.
slow your roll a bit.
I would not look to him as a prime example of how to start a meeting with a lady.
Where are the good male role models in this series?
See, I was gonna say Rio, but I couldn't even make that joke. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I said Rio? And I was like, no, even I can't do that.
I would have taken that 100% seriously too, and probably laughed even harder.
Don't worry, I will cash in my dunk on Rio at some point in the future. I guarantee it.
I'm guessing that the billionaire guy, maybe he's the only sort of level-headed, not offensive male guy so far.
Yeah, because everyone else is either a dickbag or evil.
Or macking on somebody really quickly. And even
But,
then, he's still a pretty... I don't think he does anything that egregious throughout the rest of the series, but he's still
I
pretty...
know, but yeah, it's laid on really thick that they're like, oh, they were a couple.
A couple immediately.
Immediately.
It's like, we only have one... We have so many girl characters, only one of them has a boyfriend. We need to do something.
Monogamy.
And, yeah, I have written here that it comes off kind of icky, because it does.
Mm-hmm. So, my favorite thing, possibly in the entire universe, is the head games. That is a big part of the love triangle that the series goes on. So
Air quotes
Jem-
love triangle.
Air quotes love triangle. It's a ghost love triangle.
It's a love line, but there's like the Back to the Future like line split, like alternate universe kind of split happening.
It's fading in and out like a hologram.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Wow. But yeah, Jem is hanging out with Rio on deck, and she's like, "Oh, Rio, do you like me?"
Which
Jem, who is your girlfriend, Jerica?
Here's, I think, where Rio comes off the most sympathetic, probably in the series, to where he responds, "Like you? I don't even know you."
Yeah, he's like, hasn't Jem literally been around for like 2 days at this point?
I mean, the passage of time is very. I mean, it's not like they say at all, but it's definitely. You know, Jem has not been around very long, but Rio has already saved her from certain death and has now gone to a boat party with her that Jerica did not attend.
No one asks why.
Which is kind of a normal thing. I mean, it's like, I guess they can attribute it to, Jerica has work.
Or like, you know, but they got these holograms and stuff, can't they be like, oh, you know, Kimber, can you pretend to be your sister and just say, oh, Kimber wasn't feeling well? It would really help Jem and Jerica's case if they were, like, ever seen in the same place. I'm just saying.
Showed up in a lot more places, yeah, but then, I don't know, do you think someone... Well, I guess if nobody notices that Jem and Jerica are never in the same place, nobody's going to notice if there's always a hologram missing.
It's so easy. We could have written Jem and the holograms.
Oh, God, it's just like, come on. Simple stuff.
Because you know what wouldn't happen if I were writing Jem and the holograms?
What would not happen?
Rio and Jem wouldn't be kissing already.
Because, yeah, that's the other thing. Despite the fact that Rio responds normally and saying, I don't even know you, they almost kiss anyway. But also, Jerica almost reveals herself.
Yeah. Goes
like, as she should.
Yeah, she goes, say, you know what, Rio? I should let you know I'm actually Jerica. But before she can get to that point, making mischief.
Oh, well, it's not only that, but the Misfits show up to ruin Rio and Jerica's moment. Jerica as Jem's moment. Yeah. And they get, like, Possessed sprays them with, like, a clown water thing.
Sure.
And, well, for some reason that doesn't short out the earrings, which sometimes water shorts out the earrings and sometimes they don't. But yeah, we get to the third song here, Making Mischief starts, which we'll play for you right now. They're mischief. They're making mischief. Making mischief.
Making mischief. We're making mischief. We're making mischief. Making mischief. And we're really getting in it. Mischief. We're making mischief. Making mischief. And we're loving every minute. We've almost gone berserk. Doing all this dirty work. We're making mischief. We're making mischief. Making mischief. And we're really getting in it. Mischief. We're making mischief. Making mischief. And we're loving every minute. We've almost gone berserk. Doing all this dirty work. We're making mischief. We're making mischief. Making mischief. And we're getting into trouble. Mischief. We're making mischief.
I really like Making Mischief.
It's a good song, I think.
It's a very good song just for the Misfits in general. Like there's a connection there.
It suits them well. I mean, I think we've said so far for every Misfits song that it suits them well, considering all of the songs so far have been basically, I'm the best, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, all they want to do is just kind of mess stuff up for other people. So that again, consistency, except I'm not saying it sarcastically in reference to Jericho this time. The Misfits, if anything, are very consistent.
They're consistent that they like making mischief, which is exactly what they do in this music video. Because, I mean, we get such imagery as Pizzazz blowing on a waiter, just kind of like blowing on a waiter and it knocks him over, which means that he's either paper thin or Pizzazz is super strong, which is sort of a thing that happens in the music videos anyway.
Or she's really bad breath.
Or she might have really bad... I mean, she's rich, so I wouldn't think so.
She probably has someone else brush her teeth.
She has someone brush her teeth for her. She has a robot do it, probably.
Yep. Uh-huh.
There's a shot of people running, and somebody's dressed as a pirate. That doesn't really have anything to do with the Misfits making mischief.
A boat.
They're on a boat, so there's a pirate, I guess. They're destroying all the food, and they're fucking up everything on this boat, and nobody seems to be trying to stop them either. They're just kind of like running away, basically.
Do you think, like, somewhere off screen, the Countess is like, why didn't I invite these fine young ladies to my party? Clearly, I made an error.
And do you think the reason that everybody's running away too is basically that they're rich people and they don't want to deal with it?
Wow, that's a deep question.
that they probably think, oh, we'll just get one of the help to deal with this. I'm gonna go on deck.
Yeah. Also, they're probably worried the Misfits will kill them.
That's true, because it's very possible that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's true havoc going on.
Although, again, by sort of the end of the music video, we're left with not necessarily that it didn't happen, but there's very little evidence to show that the Misfits fucking up everything on the boat in that music video happened. So we're kind of left in this weird dream state again of, are the music videos happening? Is this all just a fever dream we're all collectively experiencing?
A destructive fantasy.
Yes, a destructive fantasy that either all the Misfits are projecting onto us so we can view it, or is it an actual music video? And are they singing while they're doing it? And, I mean, like, the logistics of how the music video in Gem works. Are we going to do this every episode?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, I wonder how much this is going to come up, or at some point we're just going to have to, like, come up with a code word where it's like, we're done talking about the music video, because if we don't stop now, we're going to go on for 10 minutes.
It's going to get way too deep, because so much,
we're just going to, like, start, we're, asking material answers to existential questions.
It's basically...
like, who am I?
It's going to boil down to, I think, eventually, is this music video based in reality or not? Is it far enough removed from reality to be a real music video?
Yeah, we'll have to, like, just do our talking points and then go, yes or no.
Did that happen?
Did that happen? And
so
then we say yes or no, and then we're done.
I'm going to pose the question
to you. If we disagree, maybe we talk about it.
I'm going to pose the question to you then, Kristen. Did the Misfits fuck up all the shit on the boat?
Yes!
Yes, they did. Okay.
Yes.
We are in agreement. That actually happened.
Okay. Thank God.
And somehow they get into the navigation room, because they just do. And there's nobody in there.
No, of course there's rich people.
And just as they're still making mischief, even though the song has ended, somebody turns a dial, which makes the boat go completely off course for no reason.
So that's how boats work.
And there's some sort of military fucking destroyer in the middle of, I guess, the ocean. This is California, so I would guess that this is the ocean.
Yeah, sure.
And just some military guy's like, hey, there's a boat coming towards us. What looks like a cruise ship, and we're an even bigger thing. And I believe the episode ends with Jem going, we're gonna crash! Which is, I believe, the same thing Kimber said at the ending of one segment.
Yep. When they were going to crash and they were actually just going off a cliff again.
Which, yes, we talked about.
We don't need to revisit things.
Right, exactly. And my last note being, this giant fucking boat is going to crash into an even more giant boat. To be continued.
Disaster.
Now, that was disaster, and Kristen, I gotta ask you, what the fuck was the disaster? Was it the fire in the house? Was it the bomb? Was it Jericho nearly getting run over by a bulldozer? Was it the boat trying to, like, crash into each other, or was it the emergence of this weird phantom love triangle?
I think just Rio. If we're saying the disaster...
Rio is the disaster.
Rio himself, Rio the Disaster Pacheco. That's what they call him, I think.
Did you get that one in college?
That's his name in the band that he used to be in, playing his shitty broken synth.
Oh, shitty.
They called him Disaster.
And what a disaster it was.
Rio and the Pachecos.
Dare I ask, who are the other members of Rio and the Pachecos?
No one.
So he's a one-man show playing a shitty broken synthesizer. He calls himself the Disaster.
Yep.
In the band Rio and the Pachecos.
Yes.
If I'm getting all of this right.
Oh, my fanfiction.
Well, I guess that's it then. That was a disaster. That is a disaster.
Yeah. Well, I am a disaster.
And I think there might be more disaster on the horizon because, well, the next episode is called Kimber's Rebellion.
Oh, disaster.
Which, I mean,
that's my prediction.
I really think you could name basically every other episode Kimber's Rebellion, so this is going to be... It's good that we're getting this out of the way first, because...
it's like Kimber's Rebellion, subtitle, just know this is going to be a theme.
Yes, Kimber's Rebellion, subtitled The Band's Breakup.
Yep.
For the episode, The Band's Breakup. But that's it. That was episode 2 of Sabotage. Contrary to the episode, I think this went quite smoothly. It was not a disaster.
Yeah, compared to last time.
Well, the last time we tried to record, I should say.
Yeah, this is our second attempt at recording this episode, and it went way better.
It did, because, well, I won't get into logistics, but it's definitely...
Recording issues.
Recording issues, of course.
Not content issues, we're hysterical.
No, come on.
Oh, please.
Were you kidding? I didn't spend 2 weeks writing my notes at all. No, not at all.
I'm not always going off the cuff and only screaming half the time. Comedy.
But anyway, you can follow us. You can follow the show on the Twitter machine at cwtapod, P-O-D. You can follow me at Octopus. That's AWKTAPUS.
You can follow me at FunnyGirlTM, like trademark.
And you can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio. Leave a rating, give a review, do whatever you feel like. Just don't listen if you don't want to. Jesus, why are you so pushy?
Oh, please.
You can also reach us on Gmail at cwtapod@gmail.com, something I had failed to mention in the first episode. Send us a comment, whatever. Tell us how much you hate Kimber.
Oh, please.
Please don't hold back. Don't pull any punches.
I will read Kimber hate.
Our first email will be Kristen sending in an email telling us about how much she hates Rio and Kimber.
I'm just going to send subject line, fuck Rio. And there's not going to be a body.
That's all it is. I mean, hey, I'll take what I can get at this early stage.
I'll send emails until we actually get listeners.
So, yep, that's it. I'm Joe.
I am Kristen.
And, we'll see you again for Kimber's Rebellion, where we will talk about more Gem.